My birthday is this week, or rather, our birthday is this week because I am a triplet. I have an identical sister and a fraternal brother, and typically we celebrate our birthday together every year. But this year is going to be different because for the first time, I'm no contact with one of my triplets and I'll be celebrating alone. Going no contact with a family member doesn't mean that I have any less love for them or that it was an easy decision to make. It's actually incredibly painful to put down such a huge boundary with someone, to say that our relationship is unhealthy, it is damaging to me, and until it can become healthy again, I cannot have you in my life. It's very painful on both ends. I don't know if she realizes how painful it is for me, but I know that it's been 10 months since I last spoke to her, and it hasn't stopped hurting. The thing about going no contact with your identical twin is that this relationship goes beyond even my lifespan. It's beyond my birth. We've been together since we were literally one egg that split into two. So she has always been my other half, literally my other half, my soulmate, my best friend. And when she started drinking, that all changed. She became very mean and abusive. And it was really hard to watch her go down that path because I would answer her phone calls thinking maybe this time she'll be nice, and I would risk it knowing that more often than not I would end up crying by the end of the phone call. And I kept just taking any chance I could that she would be nice for once, even though I knew that she was just going to hurt me as always. It was not an easy decision to make. It took months to get to the point that I actually did break contact, and it was something that I'd been working on in therapy for quite a long time. I never thought that I'd actually go through with it because I just didn't feel like I had the strength to put myself first in that way. And I'm sure it can seem selfish when a family member cuts out another family member. Like, that can look like that person is casting off their love and that they don't love them. I love her so much that I put it off for years, knowing that it was probably the right thing to do. And I needed encouragement by my therapist and the Fellowship of Al-Anon and my sponsor to make the decision to finally cut it off. It's a choice that I have to continue to make over and over again because I still have this strong urge in me to talk to her. And I dream about her all the time. I actually dreamed about her this morning. And sometimes when I'm dreaming of her, she's her old self, and she's beautiful and wonderful and intelligent and creative and charming and lovely and all the things she used to be. And I'll tell her, I hope you understand why I'm doing this. And in my dreams, she'll always be like, I understand, I support you. I'm just glad we can have this moment. And we'll have that moment in my dreams. And then I'll wake up and I'll be back to this barrier. It's hard to keep that boundary when the internet is a thing, because she will find me on social media and she will follow me, and then I'll let it slide for a little while, but then she'll be more persistent with interacting, liking my photos and stuff like that, and I'll realize, okay, she's pushing my buttons. She's testing to see how much she can get away with and how much contact we can have. And like with alcoholism, I can't have even one drop. So I can't have any single interaction with her. And I just keep blocking her. And that sucks because I don't want to. I wish that I could be more lenient with my own boundary. But I know how easy it would be for me to give up and return to this abusive dynamic where she's hurting me again if I don't heal myself first. And I don't know how long that will take. I don't know how long it'll take for me to be in a healed enough position to talk to her again, or for her to be in a healed enough position to talk to me again. This is the first birthday I've had without her, and it's really, really, really bringing it home that it's been a long time now, and it's still just as hard. My hope is that this boundary will not continue to go on for another year. I would really like to have her at my wedding next year, but as of right now, we are planning two different weddings. We are planning the wedding that she will be at and the wedding that she won't be invited to, because I don't know where she will be in that time. I do know that there will have to be some stipulations if she's invited to the wedding, like she'd have to stay sober at the wedding. And part of planning these two weddings is the wedding that she's not invited to that will have alcohol for all of the other guests, and the wedding that she's invited to that will be dry, because I'm an addict myself, and I know that even if there were alcohol there and I asked her to be sober at the wedding, she'd probably take a beer to the bathroom, because that's what I would do. So I just don't know what a year from now looks like. I do know that I'm not ready for that first interaction. I am not ready to take away this boundary and have a conversation with her for the first time in 10 months. There's no way I'm equipped for that. Part of the reason that I broke contact when I did is that her phone calls would trigger panic attacks in me, and she didn't feel in any way involved in that. She told me it was my responsibility to handle my triggers, and she knew she was triggering me. She knows me better than anyone, and she knows that I am easily triggered by certain things, and she would say exactly those things. And then when I'd have a panic attack and say, hey, don't do that, she'd say, no, that's on you. Okay, but I don't really want to bash on her. It's just that when your mental health is on the line and you feel like you might like go to the hospital over a phone call, probably best to stop talking to that person, no matter how they're related to you. Anyway, at the end of the day, I am not doing any of this because I'm necessarily mad at her or have some big grudge against her. I love her so much, and it hurts me to be putting her through this and to be putting myself through this. It feels like I'm stabbing myself in the heart at the same time that I'm stabbing her in the back, and it's a terrible feeling. And I care a lot about how she feels, and I have to kind of detach myself from her feelings because it's so easy to just cry thinking about what I'm putting her through. And I have to remember that my health has to come first. So I'm not doing this to hurt her. I'm doing this because she's hurt me, and I won't be hurt like that anymore. Ultimately, I just want her to be okay. That's really all I want for her. I want her to have a happy life, and it hurts to see how she's living her life right now. There's a lot of reasons why I've put down this boundary, and I'm not going to go into a lot of them, but alcoholism is a large one. Whether she considers herself an alcoholic or not, she does absolutely have a drinking problem. And along with that come a lot of other really scary problems. And I don't want her to have these problems, and I don't want to watch her suffer. I don't want her to suffer at all. So I just want her to be okay. Might sound weird coming from the person who cut off all contact with that person, but I really, more than anything, just want her to be okay.